So, folks, I find myself at an impasse. I just don't know. Which way should I go? Which way should the youth of America go? You know, the people younger than me. And I just don't know. I don't know what to do with my life. I don't know. Will leftism make me rich? Will conservatism make me wise? Who can say? I'm just so confused. My poor lady brain is too weak and feeble to make sense of things. So luckily, there's a big, strong man willing to do my thinking for me. And his name is Patrick Bet-David. And he runs a podcast called Valuetainment. And he came out with a video exactly for me. And I can't wait to learn about it with all of you. Look at how big-brained he looks. Can't wait to hear his high-level ideas.
Do you know countries are spending billions of dollars to win your attention over? And they're trying to influence you. And they want to instill certain bad ideas in you because they know if they control your mind, they can take control of a nation. And they go after the youth because whoever controls the youth controls the future of that country.
Did you know, guys, did you know that propaganda exists? Hey guys, did you know that countries invest in propaganda? Did you know that countries make propaganda?
Hitler said once, he said, "He alone who owns the youth gains the future." By the way, today we are going to do an audit on these young influencers that people follow.
I love that we are 20 seconds in.
Spy Kids 3 reference.
We are 20 seconds in, and Patrick Bet-David is already like, you know that guy Hitler? He had some good ideas. We're 20 seconds in, and he's like, did you know that Hitler talked about controlling the children and controlling the world? He was right. All these countries are doing it the same thing. They're targeting the kids to control the world.
Charlie Kirk, Hermosi, Clav, Fuentes, Mr. Beast, all these people that we're going to go through, what happens if we consume their content? What happens to me if I put 100 hours into consuming someone's content, 500 hours? What happened to my life? Let me tell you a story. I had an economist on the podcast 2 days ago. His name is Steve Keen. Very well known from Australia. The conversation starts off. The first 20 minutes, we are this close to finishing the podcast. It's heated. He's arguing. He's offended because I said something bad about communism. And he was very defensive about it. And then I asked him a question. I said, let me ask you, would they consider you a pessimist or an optimist?
Society and the state we're in, pessimism is being forced upon me.
He says, I'm a pessimist. I said, why are you a pessimist? He says, because I know the fact. I said, what if you're wrong? He says, I'm not wrong. I know the fact. I said, how old are you right now? 73, 74 years old. I said, were you always a pessimist? He says, no, I used to be an optimist. I said, what happened? He says, well, at 18 years old, I was a phenom tennis player. I was going to go pro. And while he's telling this story, he catches himself.
This is really dumb. Did you know that this economist I talked to is a pessimist? And he was turned into a pessimist because he was going to be a tennis star at 18 years old. Who gives a shit, man? Who cares?
He says at 20 years old in college, I got caught into this leftist group, this communist group. And from there, when I did that, instead of playing tennis 20 hours a week that I was training, I stopped tennis and I just locked onto politics. I said, what's the first time you read Karl Marx's book? He says,
I love the idea that this guy who's like 70 years old has spent the last, 50 plus years of his life studying economics and being a communist. And like Patrick Bet-David is like, that idea that you got at 18 that you've had your entire life, it corrupted you. Clearly the idea is evil. Kill it with fire.
I was 20 years old. I said, what did you read? He said, I read everything. I said, so the last time you were an optimist was when you were 19 years old prior to going to this leftist organization. He said,
that's right. Leftism makes you a pessimist. And that's why you need to burn it with fire.
He says, yes. I said, are you happy about the decision? He says, yes, because I got the facts. I said, so today, if you were 25 years old, would you have any kids? Not at all. Why? Do you realize what's going to happen with the climate? This man's been married 3 times, and he's telling me these stories. I actually really enjoy talking to him. Why am I sharing this with you? This 73, 74-year-old man today once was an optimist. And what changed him? Ideas.
Oh, no. Guys, I need to play the clip. I need to play the clip. Is it this one? I think it's this one.
That it's real. I'm glad you brought that up. Because Mr. Reynolds, science is a liar sometimes.
Oh boy.
This is Aristotle, thought to be the smartest man on the planet. He believed that the Earth was the center of the universe, and everybody believed him because he was so smart. Until another smartest guy came around, Galileo, and he disproved that theory, making Aristotle and everybody else on Earth look like a bitch. Of course, Galileo then thought comets were an optical illusion, and there's no way that the moon could cause the ocean's tides. Everybody believed that because he was so smart. He was also wrong, making him and everyone else on Earth look like a bitch again. And then, best of all, Sir Isaac Newton gets born and blows everybody's nips off with his big brains. Of course, he also thought he could turn metal into gold and died eating mercury, making him yet another stupid bitch.
This is basically Patrick but David, but with knowing anything at all. Ideas are the devil's poison for your mind. Like, it's genuinely that. It's just, you learned something new. How dare you? Stupid science bitch. Like what?
That got into his brain, stole decades of his life from him. So if you're watching this today, it is very important, whether you're young, you're 16 years old watching this,
to never have ideas. If you think for even a second that you are developing an idea, quick, ram your head into a wall, purge it of all ideas. You need to make sure it's as smooth in there as possible, all right? If you even think that you're starting to have an idea, okay? If you even think that you're starting to have an idea, you've already lost because you're thinking, okay? That's too much thought. Consume. Just consume. Nothing means anything. Watch some bright colors. Watch some bright colors play on your TV. You don't even have to connect any ideas to them. That'd be dangerous. But just, let your life wash over you and don't accomplish anything. Don't think anything. Don't believe anything. Because you don't want to be one of those dumb science bitches, do you?
22 years old watching this, or 38 years old, and you got kids that are consuming this content is purely for you to realize one bad idea will steal decades of your life. We're going to talk about that today. All right, so if you give value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, especially the 51% whom we love that haven't subscribed yet, because my commitment to you is to make the content the best it's ever been, to earn your subscribership. Every day we do whatever we can here to provide better content, better value, so you sit there and say,
better pizza.
I have to subscribe to this content. So if we've been able to work on that, if you can smash that subscribe button, that would be wonderful. Let's get right into it. So check this out. Question for you. If you are another country, you're China, you're Qatar, you're Russia, you're Iran, you're whoever you are,
I'm always thinking about what I would do if I was a country. What would I do if I was Andorra? What would I do if I was Switzerland? What would I do if I was Malaysia? So many what ifs that pass us all by.
You're trying to sell your way of thinking into America. If you were doing that and you had a $5 billion budget of propaganda, where would you put the money? Would you put it into buying politicians? Would it be media? Would it be influencers? Would it be businesses? Would it be youth? Where would you put the money? I asked this question of 2 CIA agents, Andy Bustamante and Sarah Adams, and they both structured their money in a very different way. But here's what I asked them. When we go look at this country that's putting the most money into U.S. universities, you will notice it's Qatar at the top. They've put $7.7 billion into universities. China's second at 6.4. And then you see the rest of them. Why are they putting so much money into our colleges? Do you know the top 5 recipients of Arab funding? Number 1 is Cornell University, which is an Ivy League school, got $1.8 billion. Georgetown got 830. Carnegie Mellon got 823. Texas A&M 806. Northwestern University 648. You think they're just giving this money because they're charitable? And they're like, we don't want nothing in return. It's just yours, Give the kids some pizzas. That's all. We don't want any favors. Don't change the history in the school and kind of make us look better. And that we would never ask for such a thing. It's not like we're trying to do any kind of propaganda type of stuff here. It's just we like what you're doing. We think you guys have great teachers.
Well, like the purpose of the investment, at least as far as the Qataris are concerned, is that they want to basically bring more academics to Qatar and like build up relationships with these Ivy League schools and with these Ivy League specialists to then bring them and entice them over to Qatar so that they can then build up industries domestically within Qatar that allow them to diversify their economy away from just oil and natural gas. Because they understand that there is a finite amount of time where they're going to be able to remain profitable from those things, and they need to develop technologies and new sectors in order to survive as a country. Like, that's why they do it. There's a geopolitical reason to do that. I do think that there are potentially arguments that one could make that, like, it's also to buy political influence, where, obviously by buying or by making large donations to institutions, specifically higher ed institutions in the United States, that can curry a lot of goodwill. That can, of course, become a relied upon method of funding universities. And exactly, Maliki. It's a great way of
Ideas are
exerting
nothing
soft
versus
power.
the raw power of infotainment.
But have you considered the supreme power of valuetainment? Also, thank you for subscribing to Last Homely House. I very much appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, like, there's a reason why they do it. It is to develop both domestically and also to exert a kind of soft power that influences folks that are going to go on to be, if you're at an Ivy League institution, who are going to go on to be politicians of import, businessmen of import, scientists of import, etc., and to curry relationships with them as well, right? Like, it is a way of exerting a kind of soft power.
You think they're doing that? Of course they're not doing that. So where does this go? Before we talk about these names, all of these names here that we're going to look at, let's first look at the list of enemies who hate America and they want to get a hold of our kids. You're seeing what's going on, and already, what type of enemies do we have? We have economical enemies, China and India. Maybe we have ideological enemies, theocratic governance.
I'm sorry, I don't think I've ever heard of India being referred to as an economic enemy of the United States.
Like Iran, maybe Chinese-style authoritarian capitalism, very different than ours. Or maybe one-party systems like Russia, maybe cultural, identity politics, anti-Western narratives. Maybe it's religion, radical Islamists, or militant jihadists, or geopolitical, Iran, Canada, Mexico, China. Maybe even Israel is trying to get influence over what we're doing here today. Maybe it's technological.
I'm sorry, is this baby's first realization that we live in a global world and, like, nation states aren't like BFFs, but are instead self-interested entities that are looking to, like, gain advantages in order to ensure survival? Like, yeah, every country on Earth does this. Yes.
Logical. China, South Korea, Taiwan, India, they're trying to win the race. Or maybe it's internal. And when I mean internal, it could be envious players internally. Maybe it's our educational system that internally is getting a hold of our kids and we're losing them for a few decades.
Now, this is interesting because he's now putting out, like, oh, okay, every country does this, which would include the United States does this. But our education system that is created by the United States is stealing our kids to what? What are you talking about? Yes, the US education system does instill certain ideas and values, but it's mainly designed to create blue-collar workers. It's mainly designed to create a kind of working class individual that can slot neatly into service jobs or into, different trade jobs, and to provide services so that, you have a literate class that can operate in a modern society. That's the purpose. Like the indoctrination is to get you used to that kind of labor when folks are adults. And on top of that, it is designed to avoid topics like socialism or communism. Like I took some fairly advanced college level classes in high school on economics, and the extent to which we learned about communism was, it's a fine idea on paper, but it's not. You can't put it into practice, And that was the extent of my education on communism, and that's not it. Your kids aren't being indoctrinated to become communists in public school. Who does PBD think that the public school system is stealing kids from, and to what end?
Maybe it's affordability. Maybe it's LGBTQ that led to low birth rates that leads to abortion.
What? Man, I love the idea. I love these ideas that conservatives just throw out there lightning round. Yeah, maybe people are just enjoying having gay and lesbian sex so much that the population has declined. I mean, duh. Maybe we're just more generous lovers than the straights. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe it's the gay sex is just too good. Those bisexuals out there, they're rampaging across the land with their sexual prowess, causing the birth rate to go down and abortions to go up? ?
Maybe that's the whole concept of the breakdown of the nuclear family.
The gay sex but baby abortion levels are out of control.
Maybe it's the declining trust in institutions.
That's you know what? That's true. The gays put their milkshakes out in the yard, and all the boys came to the yard, and that's why birth rates are low. It's so true. The gays are putting out too many milkshakes. There are too many yards. The boys, they're in short supply. They're spread over too many yards.
Or motives to divide us, or seeking fame. Who knows? These are list of enemies that we have. Do you think the enemy would like to see a civil war in America? Do you think they would?
I love that he's just listed every aspect of society as the enemy. Just every aspect of society, every institution, every country, everything is the enemy. Conservatives live in a constant bubble of fear. It's no way to live. I can tell you guys that much.
You want to see civil unrest? Have you noticed certain words becoming normalized, like desensitized? Dropping the N word, it's like, yeah, it's okay.
What?
Saying certain things, yeah, it's okay. And it's like,
what? Have you guys noticed certain words being used more and more, like the N word? No, actually, I haven't. I haven't noticed that in my day-to-day life. Actually, why are you, man? Maybe you're hanging out with people who kind of suck.
The gays have a milkshake monopoly. Decom fee the butt babies today.
Nathan, thank you for the $5 dono.
Kids are now saying it. And kids are getting in trouble and saying this. Well, 20 years ago, we didn't do that, even if we listened to hip hop. It's like, no, just say it. Just say, go say it. I want you to say it, right? It's okay to say it. Buying certain.
What are you talking about, man? Seriously? What is he on about? Did he just like snort a line of coke and just like go into this no script whatsoever? Like, what happened here?
Certain things has become normal. They're dividing, right? So desensitizing, pushing the Overton window.
Who's they? Like, who are you? Like, when you're talking about they are saying to say the N-word. They are desensitizing. Who's they? You started out this video talking about nation states and countries. Who are you talking about now? It's just some nebulous force of nature that's making people say the N-word more? What are you talking about, dog?
You know, demoralizing American society, leading to violence, leading to pornography being okay. Some of the porn, like you go on.
What? Dog. How did people watch this? I mean, the funny part about this video is that nobody's watched it. He's a channel of 7.16 million subscribers. Only 33,000 people have watched this.
It's they them.
It's the they them. Of course.
Of course!
Of course. Nathan, thank you for the $5 dono. Appreciate it. I love how he's like, yeah, there's violent revolution happening and pornography. Oh, that pornography. I can stand a little violent revolution, but the pornography.
On social media, seeing that they want to desensitize you. It's not a big deal. It's not.
Who's they? No one wants to desensitize you to porn. Least of all the people who are trying to sell you porn. They want you as sensitive as possible. Wink, wink.
Not a big deal. Let them see it, right? What are they solving for, right? And the infiltration is where in our schools, universities, corporation politics.
Infiltration of whomst? Whomst among us is infiltrated? What are you talking about?
Military, social media company, gamers, influencers, churches, they are everywhere and they're going.
Yeah, exactly, Pinball Machine. And thank you for joining Riverboat.gg. But like, it's genuinely the spaghetti moral panic approach. Just throw them all at the wall and see which noodles stick.
Is to divide men against women, parents against kids, rich against the poor, husbands against wives, employer against employee, churches against clergy.
Yeah, because none of these things were ever at odds before. Famously, parents and children always get along, especially during the teenage years. There's never any kind of conflict whatsoever. Famously, every husband and every wife gets along perfectly. It's only because they came in and made it hard.
They just want to divide whites against blacks, and this is...
Who's they, man? The fact that you're getting real nebulous about this is getting really weird.
Constant. There's even this girl named Sabrina Carpenter who every song she does, guess what happens in these music videos? She kills a man. Like, literally. It's not called misogyny, it's called
Is that true? I've never watched a Sabrina Carpenter music video. My only exposure to her is on the Muppet Show, because she came and did a one-episode appearance on the Muppet Show, and she was a goddamn delight. She was an absolute delight. She was like a perfect match for the Muppets, and if you guys haven't seen that, I really recommend it. It was delightful. It was incredible. She interacted with Muppets as well as like Tim Curry. It was so good. Giants? They might be giants? I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Watch the man-child video right now? I can't. That would immediately get this demonetized.
Sandry, hatred, a deep prejudice.
Does she really commit murders? Now that's a great question. Is Sabrina Carpenter a serial killer? That's what I want to know. I actually just want to know this. Okay, is Sabrina Carpenter the reincarnation of Jack the Ripper? Okay, like is she out there? Is she out there like stalking the men with her rifle and knifed stilettos? She would be a great serial killer. She'd be a great anything that she puts her mind to. She has the fortitude and mental dexterity of Miss Piggy, the charm of Beaker, the witticisms of Fozzie Bear. and of course the humble nature of Kermit the Frog.
This towards men.
Meep, bitch.
Men, you're being targeted. They're coming for you.
Men, they're coming for you. They're coming for you, men. They're coming for you. Men, please understand. They are coming for you.
Attacking you. I want to give you my plan on what I did to have bigger influence as well as protect my own. It's very
Dog, I'm thoroughly scared. How do we protect ourselves from them?
very important. So if we go over here and we're looking at this stuff, because these guys that are making the investment, they know they want you 20 to 60.
Yeah, the Sabrina Carpenters are coming for you. It's actually a profession. Many people don't know this. They're unionized.
They want to get you long term. They're not trying to get you short term. They know 20 to 60 year plan of them getting a hold of you. So now let's go over here.
They have a 20 to 60 year plan to get hold of you? Who are you talking about?
Before we look at all these influencers and their belief to see what kind of influence they'll have over you, let's first define what a net positive to society is. Maybe we may have a different definition for this, but I want you to explain it. What do you think is a net positive to society? How do you measure somebody to say, that guy's a net positive to society? Maybe they're self-reliance.
I would maybe define a net benefit to society being like someone who helps society more than harms society. That seems to be the simplest definition here. Being self-reliant doesn't necessarily help society more than it hurts society.
Take care of their own. They make their own money. They pay their taxes. Maybe they protect their own family. Clear north, signal where they're going. These are the people we admire and we used to admire. These are our heroes. Or, wow, look at this. He knows where he's going.
Like who? Like you?
Wow, look at him. He takes care of his family. Wow, look at him. He's winning financially. He's bringing value to the marketplace. Contributing to society positively, obeying the law, empowering others to become successful, lifting up others instead of tearing everybody down, being a good example, being a builder, right? Founder, starting a company, creating jobs.
Okay, but like all of the people that Patrick Bet-David looks up to are not people who do these things, you know? Like, he looks up to Elon Musk. Elon Musk constantly breaks laws. Elon Musk is not a good family man. Like, none of these things are things that Patrick Bet-David himself demonstrably values.
Having kids, creating businesses, you're building, you're not tearing.
I thought he hated teachers. He literally talked about how teachers were agents of them taking away children. So, like, he doesn't value any of these things. What is this sloppy list horseshit? You know, that's actually a really good point insofar as, like, there's a decent chance that Patrick Bet-David generated the script for this video using AI. I can't prove that, of course, but, like, this is so incoherent that it kind of comes across as genuine, but it could also just be shitty AI.
Now you're building things up. Here's what we need to do is follow my example. I'm setting an example to you. Courageous, right? They keep their word. They're generous. They raise the standards. They leave places better than they found them, no matter where they go. They pass down generational wealth to the next family that they have their kids.
Oh yeah, passing down generational wealth, leaving the world a better place than they found it. Hey, remind me again, what's Patrick Bet-David's ideas related to like climate change and like global warming and like green energy? Oh, wait. You could leave all the generational wealth you want. You just can't leave your kids a planet that's livable. Gotcha.
Take responsibility. They're tough. They confront respectfully. They confront respectfully. If this is what net positive to society is, then it leads to the following names. If you watched 500 hours of content of each...
Oh, God.
Sabrina Carpenter, Garrot, Gallons of Acid, Girl Boss.
I don't understand. Are those songs? Are those her methods of murder? Like, I need to know more. Thank you for the $10 super chat, Brutus Magnuson.
Each of these, let's just say we take 1,000 kids, and we take these kids and we divide them amongst these people, and the test is going to be, I want you to watch 500 hours. Where would we rank them in?
Okay, but this is genuinely AI slop, so like I'm guessing that he wrote this with AI.
Net positive to society as teenagers or 22-year-olds, 21-year-olds. Let's go through them.
Oh, gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. Oh, I got it. I get it.
Charlie Kirk. If we give a 16-year-old kid to watch 500 hours of Charlie Kirk, what happens to him?
I mean, I gotta be honest. 500 hours of Charlie Kirk is a lot of Charlie Kirk. I've watched maybe about that much, and I'm gonna tell you something. We already have an idea of what happens when you feed an entity on Charlie Kirk videos. I need it. I need it so badly. Come on, where's the egg? Where is the egg video? I know it's around here somewhere. I failed you. I failed you all. This is why you save your favorite memes in a folder/playlist. I've been learned today. I've been learned today.
How do they feel afterwards? Do they be
Like, I don't know. The kids these days are using, like, Charlie Kirk's death rattle as, like, a stinger on Instagram videos. So, like, I don't think watching a lot of that Charlie Kirk content made them feel good towards Charlie Kirk.
become patriotic? Do they love America more? Do they want to have a family? Do they think America is the greatest country in the world? Are they net positive to society? Do they want to go make money, obey the law, their belief system, what they know, how they behave? How do you behave after you watch Charlie Kirk? One night I came home, my youngest son was watching Charlie Kirk on his own, and he's just going through the clips. I said, what are you doing? He said, I just want to know what he stood for. This is before Charlie Kirk got shot and assassinated. So what would happen if you watch Charlie Kirk? What about Hormozy? What if we put a case study and we put somebody to watch 500 hours of content of Hormozy? You think they improve financially? You think they create jobs? Maybe you think they make better investments? Maybe they become better executives, better salespeople, better for the economy. Maybe they do. What if they watch Clav, 500 hours? You know what? I have to look very good. So it's almost like all about vanity. It's like you're almost a girl. Girls spend all day long thinking about what they look like, not guys. Guys,
Yeah, Patrick Bet David looks like the kind of man who has never once thought about how he looks at all. That makes sense.
you take care of your body. Of course, you get in shape. You're strong. You're intense. And then you try to take care of people around you. But people who are consuming that content, maybe they look better. Maybe they do some stuff. But is it a net positive to society? I don't know. He does have a sense of humor. He is self-deprecating sometimes, so that's a good thing. But what would happen if you consume 500 hours? What about Fuentes? What about Fuentes? Fuentes is almost like a 55-year-old man stuck in a 20-year-old's body. Why? Because he's talking.
It's almost definitely not what you're looking for, but it is brain rot.
No, this is what I was looking for. This is what I was looking for. You did it, Nathan. You did it. This is the Charlie Kirk. This is the Charlie Kirk egg meme.
Drink soda, I eat pizza.
That's what happens. That's what happens to your brain after you watch 500 hours of Charlie Kirk content. It turns into two little eggs that talk about how you love soda and pizza. That's it. It's the scientifically, like, perfect ideal of what happens. You did it, Nathan. You saved it. You saved the stream. Thank you for the $5 dono.
Talking about issues that matter if you're above 40, not if you're 14, not if you're 16, not if you're 18. Well, maybe they do. We can debate that. But to me, I think he has got issues that he's talking about that 40, 50, 60-year-olds need to be thinking about. And maybe the youth, if I have to choose between somebody that's 18, 20, 22, getting their career in order, making money, being a net positive to society. So let me kind of give you an idea how I'm processing this information. So if I'm 20 years old.
Wait a minute, Patrick. Processing information? Kind of sounds like you're having ideas. And ideas make you into a pessimist. Patrick, don't do it. Stop having your ideas. You're going to know too much. Your brain will get too big. It'll get too wrinkled. There's no going back.
30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old. Hypothetically, stay with me here so this makes sense. And we have career, economy, politics, current events, health, whatever, right? What percentage at 20 should be politics? In my opinion, less than 10%. It needs to be majority career and, economy, finances, taking care of yourself. What percentage do you think it needs to be politics at 30 years old? Probably 20 to 25%. How about 40 years old? 30%, pay attention more. How about 50 years old? Probably 35%. But
man, I love when Patrick Bet-David makes bullshit charts. I love it. It's great. This is wonderful.
we need to spend more time here. There's too many young guys that are following politics that they're broke. You're broke.
Oh man, I love this idea. You're paying too much attention to politics, and because you spent so much time thinking about politics, you didn't spend enough time getting that bag. That's the problem with America today. Too many young people thinking about politics. You should be thinking about things like making money and getting laid, bro. And then you think about politics when you're older. You need to disengage from the political system if you're young. Just let it happen to you. How does one spend negative 10% of their time on something?
Broke. We got to go make money. We got to consume the content that helps us become better in business and economy. I believe the older audience should listen to the politics more than the younger audience. My opinion. Because the younger audience needs to become self-reliant. Again, what is your definition of a net positive to society? Let me continue. Mr. Beast. What happens if you watch 500 hours of Mr. Beast? Maybe you get inspired to create a YouTube channel. I don't know if he's teaching value. By the way, he's very good in interviews. If you do watch him in interviews, very insightful. What if you watch 500 hours of interviews on Mr. Beast? I think that's powerful, right? Billy Graham. What happens if you watch 500 hours of Billy Graham speeches?
You become the kind of person who doesn't believe in evolution and, also thinks that the world is only 10,000 years old. And you start spreading more and more delusions. And then you also think that the rapture is coming soon and that we need to support Israel no matter what so that we can fulfill biblical prophecy and summon Jesus Christ, the second coming.
You don't think you want to be a better man? You don't think you want to make better decisions in life? What if you watch 500 hours of Hassan Piker? Funny, good communicator, but what are his values? Does he really love America? I don't know. I don't know what some of the stuff that he talks about.
I think he actively advocates for America to be better than it is, right? Like, what are his values? Man, like, you could find, like, a video of that really easily. Like, dog wants everyone to have health care.
Values that he has. But there's the youth that's consuming that content. How about Caleb Hammer? Young guy that's teaching people money. What if you study what Caleb Hammer's doing with money? And he's calling all these people out that don't have their finances in order. I think that's a net positive to society if you're younger. How about Destiny? On what Destiny talks about. If you watch 500 hours of Destiny, you think that's good for the youth? You think 500 Destinies following that mindset that he has is good for the youth? I don't know. One time...
Man, what's crazy is that we have all this buildup, and Patrick Bet-David's argument is this good for the youth? I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. Like, okay. We got a whole lot of just, like, implications, and, like, is Hassan good? I don't know. Anyway.
A guy walked up to me and says, all you want to do is platform Andrew Tate, and I cannot... This is a father at a soccer match. I'm with my kid. You promote Andrew Tate. I said, who do you promote to your kids? He says, Destiny. I said, really? Yeah. I said, you
shouldn't do that, probably.
think your kid's going to benefit of watching Destiny more than a Tate? Yes. I'm like, all right, buddy, we have nothing in common. What net positive? Listen, it's great for show, it's great for TV, it's great for debate. Of course, I've had both of them on. It's great for that. But what's the net positive score? What individual increases the net positive score for the youth today? What is it? Alex Cooper, who is going around telling everybody, hey, I'm glad I did this, I'm glad I did this. That's good. What happens if the average 18-year-old girl watches?
Yeah, you do the same thing. You talk about how you're glad you did this, you're glad you did that. Like, you do the same thing.
500 hours of Alex Cooper. Body count says 50 by the time you're 30 years old. Is that what we want to do? Is that what the net positive to society is? Good for Alex Cooper.
You can just go out and like meet people and have sex with them. That is something you can do. You should do it safely if you decide to do that, but you can do that. Like, that's fine. The problem with Andrew Tate isn't he goes out and has sex with a lot of people. That's not the problem with Andrew Tate, is it? These are not the same thing. On the one hand, you have a lady who's like, yeah, I've had sex with people. Okay. On the other hand, you have a guy who's like, I sex trafficked women and also allegedly raped many of them across several different countries. That kind of not the same thing, are they?
For making the money. I'm not judging any of these guys. Good.
I mean, you should be judging Andrew Tate, though. He has a lot of rape allegations against him.
For them for having a name that others are even talking about. They became relevant. But this is about you.
Wait, I'm sorry. Your only criteria is like somebody with a name that you know who became relevant? Is Luigi, like, would you not say anything bad about Luigi Mangione? Patrick Bet-David? Like, he's pretty famous. He's got a name you probably know. Do you have no opinion on that guy? I bet PBD has some ideas about Luigi.
How do you become a better net positive to society? What if you watch I Show Speed? I actually like the guy. I think he's good. He's doing his thing, and he's just having fun. Cody Sanchez. What happens if you have 50 girls watch Cody Sanchez for 500 hours versus 50 girls watch Alex Cooper?
I gotta be honest. I have no idea who. Like, I barely know who Alex Cooper is. I don't know who Cody Sanchez is.
For 500 hours. You tell me what happens. I'll take this 10 out of 10 times. Are you kidding me? They're going to become winners?
But wait, but why? Like, the crazy thing is, he's not even talking about any of these people or describing their worldviews or anything about them. And like, that he's like, I'll take this one over this one. Like, oh, okay, but like, why though? And he's like, well, because if you watch this one, you become a winner. And if you watch this one, you don't become a winner. But like, what are you basing your idea on? Where's your data? Is it all just you pulled it out of your ass? Which, you know, to be honest, this is a great image for me to use that line, because it does kind of look like something's being pulled out of his ass.
And I just found out they're having kids. I think I saw their picture. She's pregnant. I'm so happy for her. Good for her. That is an example to replicate, who is winning in life, winning as a wife, and soon to be a mother. Awesome. Awesome, the values, right? Logan and Jake Paul. What happens if you consume them for 500 hours? You're probably going to figure out a way how to get noticed, how to always be relevant. They're not trying to get to their next phase of their lives, right? But Logan and Jake Paul. How about Chris Williamson, who's talking about what to be career-wise, taking care of your body, your health? Tate. Every one of these guys, this isn't about whether these are good people or bad people. They have their own philosophies. But if I'm a young 18, 16, 17-year-old, and I'm getting caught up way too much into everything that's going on with politics, and my bank account is zero, or I'm in debt $18,000, financially I'm not in place, and I don't have a girlfriend, steady girlfriend that's going to be a wife, you know what my obsession would be if you were my son, or you came to me to ask a question about me? My goal is to make you self-reliant, where you're making money, your economy is good, your career is advancing, you're becoming a better leader. Then, when you have that and you become an influential, now you can have your own opinions. Go create your own opinions and share it with the world. Great. Maybe we disagree. But number one is, a society is a better place when the youth are winning financially. The more the youth has nothing to lose, that's a chaotic society. You don't want to live in that area. Trust me. I used to be one where I had nothing to lose in my life. Nothing. I was a kid with 1.8 GPA. I'm that kid that had nothing to lose. Luckily, I was good in math. I was good in pre-calculus. I was good in trigonometry. I went in the military. Somebody told me to read books, and I got...
Wait a minute, reading books? Patrick, those have ideas in them. You don't want to look like a science bitch, Patrick. You're embarrassing yourself in this video.
A hold of those business books, and the rest is history. If I had the wrong influence here, they would have lost me, and I could have gone a very different direction. So
yeah, something tells me that this guy. I don't think communism was gonna take hold of this guy. He's too mentally strong. His brain's like a fortress. It's so smooth, no other ideas can gain purchase.
simply sharing with you on what could happen if the wrong people get a hold of you. Parents, pay attention on who your kids are consuming. The youth, Gen X, even some of you guys that are in your 20s. As much as you're obsessed with politics, the only time I would say,
God, I can't believe I have to say this. The reason young people are obsessed with politics is because they have been systematically robbed by the ruling class, by people in positions of political power and by people in positions of economic power. They've been robbed. Their futures have been mortgaged, and they've been left foot in the bill. The reason they are, like, younger folks are obsessed with politics and are increasingly interested in politics is because they view it as one of the only ways out of the predicaments they find themselves in. Right? Like, a lot of young people are really angry because they see what their parents had growing up. They see what their grandparents had growing up, and they look at what they have now, and they're like, I can't go buy a house for like $1,000. Like, even if you adjust for inflation, that's like $16,000 now. Like, I can't go and buy a house for $16,000. I can't go work like a half-time, like a part-time minimum wage job and pay my way through college. That's impossible. The opportunities afforded to previous generations just don't exist anymore. Like, I read a piece about how people have been put into like permanent unemployment categories for like the last several years because the job market is just terrible and hiring practices use AI, all this garbage. And like the systemic barriers to getting involved and gaining the kind of power or the kind of autonomy that previous generations had is just like it's a non-starter now. And yes, and they've been sold vapid lies by grifters like PBD. Exactly. I guess the position I have here is just the reason the kids want to know what's going on in politics is because they recognize that what happens in politics directly affects them, their future, their ability to have families, etc. Like, it's related. And they need a way to like look at their potential futures and feel hopeful. And the only way they can do that is when they look at politics and look at figures who are like, hey, we know that medical debt is a huge problem. We know that health insurance is a huge financial burden on everybody. Guess what? We want to take that financial burden away, and give you healthcare. And like, younger people look at that and they're like, that would meaningfully improve my life in so many different ways. Having like $300 more a month would help me so much. And that's meaningful. That matters. So when people are obsessed with politics, it's because politics is a pathway for them to not suffer as much.
get obsessed with politics. If you're a billionaire, hectomillionaire, you're making a lot of money and it's impacting your life. The most important thing to pay attention to before you get obsessed with politics is your financial politics, is your financial economy, is your bank account. It's your life. It's your dreams. It's you buying a house. It's you buying a car. That's above anything else in this new rage-baiting era that I want to go. Did you see what he said? Did you see what he reacted? Did you see how he reacted? Did you see what they said? Did you see what he said? I don't have time for that because throughout the day I'm working 12, 14 hours a day. I don't have time to react to everybody.
Bro, I get that though. I feel that. I don't even have time to know who the fuck you're talking about in parts of this video. I don't got time for that. I gotta go do hot people shit. Gotta go, like, read books. Gotta go, like, read up on the topics I'm gonna be discussing.
I don't. If you
Engage with ideas.
notice how often I post Instagram, I'm not. Go look at how many times I tweet throughout the week. I don't. Go see the patterns because we're in it. We're building. So my encouragement of all of this is do your best to be a builder instead of tearing everybody down. Lift people up who are building things. Lift people up that are doing good things and replicate them. So if you're watching this and you say, well, Pat, who do you think I should watch? I would say watch Charlie nonstop.
That's really sad. It's really, really sad.
I drink soda, I eat pizza.
Watch Hormozy. I would say
I don't know who that is.
watch Charlie nonstop. Watch Hormozy.
Does anyone know who this one is? He looks like the Encino Man. Like, who is this one? He looks like he's about to try and sell me on a pyramid scheme.
I would say watch Billy. I would say watch Caleb. I would say watch Cody. I would say watch those, and everything else sprinkle a little bit to kind of see what's going on, but 10% of your time, not the majority of your time. Then later on when you're financially free, then you have the privilege at that time and the flexibility to consume all the content on politics and say, this is where I lean. But number one, well, you got to become financially free and become a net positive to society. Because everybody's counting on you to do that. Your future older self, I'm 47 today. I never thought I was going to be 47 this quickly. Just yesterday I was 23, today I'm 47 years old. Holy moly, I got a 5-year-old daughter today and a 14-year-old son, and I'm running all these companies and businesses. How the hell did this thing go by so quickly? You don't want to be the one that's 47 with $22,000 in a bank. You don't want to do that. Remember the story I started off with, that economist? The moment the bad idea went there, pessimism. And
I gotta be honest, I think that the vast majority of people who might be watching this, who are like 47, would be like, or who are like, I'm, wait a minute, I'm 30. $22,000 at the bank sounds pretty good, actually. like, wait a minute. All that being said, folks, if you got anything out of this, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave a comment. Commenting really, really helps the video and the algorithm. And also, you got to get organized. So join your local Dems, join your local DSA. If you don't know where to start, we can help you. Join our Discord. There's a link down in the description, or you can use !Discord in any of the chats, and you'll get a link. And you can reach out to GamerG for help joining DSA. You can reach out to Dragonfly for help joining your local Dems. They are organizers who have spent years building up folks in their respective organizations. They can help you too. And also, last but not least, check out ImogeneOlivia.com, gender euphoric lingerie designed from the ground up for trans femmes, tested with cis men, cis women, non-binary folks, trans men. It is comfortable, sexy, non-tucking lingerie. We just got full restock, 2 new sizes, and a new color. Go check it out, ImogeneOlivia.com. Link down in the doobly-doo. Let's keep on going.
Riverboat Jack is coming to town. All the viewers gather round. Twitch and YouTube is where she streams. All that content is bursting the scenes. Politics, gaming, and plenty more. Her sense of fashion you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're going straight to Jack's Discord.